All right.
There we go.
Let's double check and see if it's running. Remember, we start these really chill. We don't just jump right into it.
I don't know. I like jumping right into it. So much, in fact, that
All
I
right,
enjoy
there we
having
are.
us slightly cut off as we greet people.
As promised in the tweet and Facebook post, today we'll be playing with a DeLorean in the Rocket Car video game, Rocket League.
Nice.
Rocket League is a game that Kelly is, I believe, pretty much completely unfamiliar with. Am I correct?
Yep.
So we're going to be, really learning, and you're going to play hopefully for the first time today. But Rocket League is a very simple game to teach someone. It is soccer with cars.
I love it already.
You're in a little arena, and you can kind of see like a goal there. And there's a big soccer ball that's much bigger than the cars. And you have to go run your car into the soccer ball and get it into the goals.
Nice.
Now, you can't fly, which is what makes them Rocket Leagues. There are rocket cars.
Nice.
So what I want to do to start
Before we start,
yes.
who are we and what are we?
There's no plot to this game.
Oh, no. I mean, like, I'm Kelly, and this is the arena.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a PhD student at UWM.
That's Kelly, and she just told you who she is. I'm Eric. I'm a PhD student at UWM, and this is the arena. And the arena, basically, the gist of our show is that we play an esports title, and we watch an esports title, and we're not just sitting here trying to learn what are the best strategies or anything like that. Though that sometimes comes up in our discussions. Instead, what we're really focused on is asking, why do people play these games? How do players interact with each other? And how are these important? Because a lot of people play esports titles. They're the most popular games that anyone plays around the world. And people do it for a lot of different reasons. And so for this game, we're running, why do people play Rocket League? And how do we watch Rocket League if we are unfamiliar? Let me go ahead and shut this door so we don't bother anybody down the hall while we're yelling about how bad our teammates are. So, continuing the theme for this...
yeah, we're almost done. This is the last July.
For July has been team games. And so this is a team game. As you can see, we're playing with bots, but the robots there, they're also in cars. Oop.
Oh, man.
And so Rocket League is more akin to traditional sports than a lot of other esports. Because as we can tell, a lot of traditional sports have a ball, right? Or a net. Scores, right? Like as opposed to just, I'm just gotta kill my opponent or something like that. Obviously though, Rocket League is something that can, unlike let's say Madden, right? Which is just a simulation of American football. Or FIFA, which is just a simulation of soccer, or as they call it everywhere else in the world, football. This is obviously a game that literally
this is wheel ball.
Yeah, this can't exist anywhere except for a video game, right? This isn't a simulation of something that is, I mean, it's a guess. Oh, and they scored, and there you go. And the ball explodes when it goes in the net. By the way,
I don't know. I think if you believe in yourself enough, this could become a real thing.
Maybe. I suppose you could drive cars around. I just don't know if you could rocket propel them around.
One day.
Maybe one day. As we're still driving a DeLorean, which is nice. Normally I actually don't play the DeLorean. I play with them. But I paid money for this. Because it was part of a special event to get it. I was like, that's so cool. But then I realized that you can't, most of the cars you can super customize, and you can't customize the DeLorean, which was a big bummer for me. But anyways, let's talk about Rocket League. I gotta stay on focus. So it's akin to a regular sports game in a lot of senses. So if you understand the rules of soccer, you generally understand the rules of Rocket League. Now understanding the mechanics can be a lot different. So one thing to note is that your car can go a predetermined speed, and you never technically run out of real gas. You can never just stop moving and gotta go fill up at the gas station, right? But you see all around me that little orange thing, or these little ones. These fill up that meter in the bottom right, which is my boost. And boost is super important. For instance, if I just try to jump in the air and fly, nothing really happens. You have two jumps though. You can do a mid-air jump. And
the Mario jump.
Yeah, the Mario jump. Yeah, exactly. The Super Smash Bros. Jump. Lots of games have a double jump, but you can't really get lots of air, right? But if I angle my car up, and I start using boost, you see I can just fly through this. Just like I really am driving the DeLorean. Just as a small thing, look, the wheels are down. You do that enough, the wheels go. The wheels do the DeLorean thing of flying, which is neat, nice little thing. And so I would say that the thing that defines Rocket League as like an esport, as a competitive game, is the boost. Because that's where you see like really great players. They can like dribble the ball like while in the air and like do just these crazy, amazing tricks and stuff. Meanwhile, me, I'm lucky if I can like hitting the ball is a success for me. Rocket League is a very fun game, and as opposed to a lot of the games that we've played on this show, it does not have a lot of esoteric knowledge in order to play or understand what's going on. That doesn't mean that I don't, like, as part of like one of the mission statements of this show, right, is to learn how to watch a game. That doesn't mean that we can't help you watch the game better, rather, just because it's like a little like simpler and simpler just in the terms of easy to understand for an average audience. Another thing to note is just like if you jump forward, you pick up speed. So like if I do this and then I just start driving, that's how long. Like it takes me a while to get over the other side. I'm not using any boost. Now obviously I was using boost, I'd go a lot faster. But now let's do the same thing, but we'll just. Look how much faster I was able to get across the course. So there's a lot of little things that you gotta learn. Obviously, this gives me less freedom because I'm like going in a straight line. And the faster you go, as in with real cars, the harder it is to turn. Oop, and that's a score for them. What are your first impressions, Kelly?
I wish you could fly more. Like this is too small of a field. But to be fair, I like the flying aspect more than the sport aspect. Like, I wish that there was a Rocket League at this point for doing cool tricks and shit. Like,
like a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater kind of deal?
Yeah, literally that. Nice. I mean, but this still looks like fun, but I personally would have a lot more fun with that.
That makes sense.
My initial questions are, when you play on a team, like there's formations and plays that you could do in football. So I'm wondering if
American football?
Sorry, normal people football. And I mean, and American football too. But I wonder if the plays, the formations, the typical shots mirror what you would see in a live football game with people.
I would say no. And this is like a huge part of what we're going to talk about today. And so that was a great leading question for me.
You're welcome.
So what we're going to be talking a lot today about is game flow, as well as there's like and like game plan. Game loop. We're gonna be talking about like game loops. So like a lot of these games have like competitive games have a loop that you're like kind of supposed to follow. And what I would describe a gameplay loop as is like it's like you're going to repeat these general actions, and then the complexity and strategy comes from like knowing when to break the gameplay loop, as well as doing this other stuff. And that to me is fundamentally different than regular soccer. Because in regular soccer, which we're just going to call it soccer because it's easier to keep saying soccer than football, and then I'll keep getting confused by myself.
Okay.
At least us, but we acknowledge that football is the real football, as in soccer. So like in a traditional soccer, for instance, you'd have like a goalie. You have people who are playing like in the back end, like this person's a defender, this person's a winger, this person's a midfielder. You can't have that because of the game flow and the gameplay loop of Rocket League. Now, so like this is just my first point of like, so that makes it harder to have formations and things of that nature. When I think of a soccer formation, I'm thinking of like 4-3-3, which is like 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, 3 forwards, right? Now, because of the nature of the gameplay loop, which is often going forward and then coming back and like kind of looping around the track a little bit of Rocket League, because of the nature of it, no one player can just say I'm playing goalie. Because fundamentally what you do if you try to play goalie, for instance, is you actually cede much of the field to your opponent, because everyone can't be in the same place at once.
Yeah.
Right? And unlike in real soccer, right, these cars don't tire out, right? Like, so
Yeah.
the fact that you keep moving, so like a huge part of Rocket League is to just keep moving at all times. And because of that, it's harder to have formations.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say that a team might have like a player who's more adept at setting up the ball and who tends to try to do like a setup or tends to try to nail the goal or tends to go back on defense more. Right? You can have those tendencies, but it's not a very strict, rigid formation. And the game just decided to put us into another game, but we don't have to. Now, do you want to play a game?
I'm gonna watch for now.
All right. I'm trying to think. We'll play one more game against the computer while we talk, and then we might either play with you or we'll play some online games. And you can always join
get one against me to laugh, and then cool. But then we'll online it after one round.
My computers are wrecking. I didn't do anything for that. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about what the general gameplay loop is for Rocket League. So I would describe the general gameplay loop as hit the ball, go get boost, play defense, take an opportunity, and then go back up, hit the ball. I missed the ball there. But same thing. Now it's like, okay, maybe go find boost, and then get back to the thing. It looks like they're going to score. Oh, no, they missed the shot. But like, yeah, see how I just like got back on defense? Now I'm like waiting for a sec. Oop! Ow, that was bad goaling, obviously. But that would have been a hit the ball, and then maybe go find boost situation. If you have boost already, that can change the loop a little bit. But to me, the loop is generally speaking, it's rotating with the players on your team, because if everybody does what I just described, that was 3 steps, right? And there's kind of like there's 3 players. At least on the traditional Rocket League team, it's 3v3. That's what the competitive mode is. That doesn't mean you can actually go online and play 2v2, or you can play 4v4. I don't think there's actually a competitive mode for 4v4, but then you can play 1v1. 1v1 is pretty intense because obviously it's just you. But anyways, there are 3 steps in that, right? Go get hit the ball, go get boost, go back and play defense. So if you have, we scored, and I got the assist. So generally speaking, if you have one player doing one of those tasks at all times, then you always have a player sitting the ball, always have a player who is playing defense, and always have a player who's like in between, right? Because like when I say go get boost, I don't mean like go to the nearest boost necessarily. It means like get onto defense while playing. And sometimes you might like hit the ball, and you might be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stay on it. So I didn't go back and play defense there. So like you actually have to make decisions, right? It's not just a very rigid loop. But that's like the general gist of it. Oh, okay. Epic save. It's better than a normal save.
No.
Your teammate knocked it into the goal. Dude scored. The CPUs have pretty funny names. Now, gameplay loops can actually be really useful in other games too. For instance, if I'm playing Overwatch and I'm playing a sniper, and let's say in particular, I'm playing against another. Ooh, I flew really far. Let's say I'm playing against another sniper. My gameplay loop might be to snipe out the other sniper, and then let's say snipe out their support, right? Like it's like I've got like a loop in my head, and you can get even more individualized of like, oh, I want to let's say I'm at this corner, right? And I don't want to always be showing my face because then I'll get shot. So it can be like I'm gonna go here, shoot, go there, shoot, right? Or then duck behind this wall so I don't get shot at, that kind of thing. So there you see, I back off, and then I wait, and now I'm like, okay, time to go back in. Bounce it out to my teammate, unable to get the goal. Then I start heading back. So you see, now where the frustration of playing a game like Rocket League can come in is if somebody on your team doesn't know or doesn't care to follow the gameplay loop. Imagine if when I go up, I expect my teammate to go back and play defense, right? And then they don't. That can be really bad. All right, there we go. That was pretty good. Not on goal, but a good center. And so you can see you can break the game into other loops too. Oh wait, that's not even close to our goal. You can break the game into other smaller loops too. Like for instance, on offense, you could someone's got to center the ball. Squall, dude, Someone's got to center the ball, right? And then somebody's, excuse me,
gotta knock it in.
somebody's got to, you're generally going to knock it in.
Yeah.
And you might have, and then on defense, you might have somebody who gets the save and then somebody who gets the clear. And what a clear is, it's like if you're on defense, like that's a clear.
Yeah.
Where like I knock it clear to the other side of the park. Ooh. There we go.
Nice. Self-assist.
Self-assist, yeah. Yeah, and so that could be like a huge part. So like we're gonna be talking a lot about gameplay loops and a lot about, and like I think that more so than a lot of other games that we played, this game emphasizes like the importance of why people like to play team games, because teamwork becomes so important. It's very hard, even though I just did it, to score a goal completely by yourself. Generally speaking, especially against a whole other team. Like in 1v1 it can be pretty easy, because they're like a 1v1 it can be like I get a shot on goal if you're not in position to defend it.
Yeah.
We got, I get this. Oh, that was. So here I'm just like dribbling a little bit. But so like, what's interesting though to me is that when we often think of team games from an esports perspective. Oh, I meant to do that. Ah, darn it. Okay. We often think of games from the perspective of complementary roles. So like we look at Overwatch or Dota, some players were the supports. They were meant to like aid the other players in achieving certain goals. While some players maybe were like players have different responsibilities, and it's only when they do all those responsibilities together that they can succeed. Rocket League is at once more and less rigid than that. It's less rigid in the sense like, well, we're all just driving virtually the same car. There's like some minute differences between cars, like some might be a little longer. They're not, generally speaking, they all go the same speed though. There's not like, there's not like a profound difference between my car and Maverick's car right there. I think that there's like a little bit of difference in turn speed. I think that's like the most significant thing you can find. And then length. Like the DeLorean here is very long in comparison to like the van or whatever. But anyways, so there's those are extremely minute variations, and nobody would ever say like you're playing the DeLorean, so you must be the forward, right? No one would ever say that. Like so, this less rigid in that sense, but it's more rigid in the sense that everyone's got to like complement each other, because we need to work together in order to achieve the goals. Like in Overwatch, to some degree, if you have like a really good DPS, right, they might just be able to carry the whole game by themselves, even without supports or something like that. Oof.
Nice. With 24 seconds to go.
Yeah. Oh, with 20. Oh, I thought you were like, with 24 seconds to go. Here's my question.
Oh no, that was just 2 clutch shots.
One thing, like, when I first got this game, I really loved it a lot. But I had, good job, Maverick. Let's see what happened. I was looking, obviously, in the wrong direction. Oh, he came up and he got a nice hit on it. So when I first got this game, I lived in China by myself, and this game didn't work online in China. Like, I would not connect to servers, and then if I would play on like American servers, or they're like weren't Asian servers, I guess is a better way to say it. And American servers, obviously, it's hard to play a game like this, which requires pretty good, decent latency. Yeah. And okay, one interesting thing which we didn't see there is when you get to 1, the game won't end until the ball touches the ground. Which can create some pretty interesting moments. Yeah. Would you like to play a game?
Sure.
All right. So let me menu. So when I first got the game, I was living in China by myself. So I played a lot of games against the computer just by myself. 3v3, and I think if I just click 3. I think if I go to exhibition and do 3v3 and I hit create match, then you just hit start or A, I think it will put you into the game. There we go. Start. So you're on, this is confusing, but you're on the right and I'm on the left, which I think is the way it looks on the stream. So at least we got that going for me. Alright, let's be blue team. Sound good?
So how's, what's Excel, what's blue?
Alright, yeah. So Right trigger is accelerate, left trigger is brake. So most of the games are going to be played with those two.
Okay.
This moves the camera around,
Okay.
and clicking it will click behind you.
Okay.
This will turn the car left and right.
Mm.
Y will turn you on and off ball cam, which is maybe a little more higher level than you need right now, but that's just to let you know that that's like an option, which can be useful because sometimes you'll be ball cams can be very useful, but sometimes you need to look and see where you're going because like you're driving away from the ball. B is boost and A is jump.
Okay.
And then X is handbrake, but you don't really need that right now. Okay. And so just play around a little bit. We're playing against some computers, and I'll do my best to carry your slack.
Makes sense.
Double tapping A while holding a direction is a good way to like move around.
Oh.
Did you just hit the ball? Good.
No.
Oh. It can take a while when you're learning the game.
This is rough.
Yeah, like I said, it can be difficult, but you'll get there.
I know what I'm doing. I don't.
I thought you.
Nope.
Well, Armstrong got us this Major Armstrong, right?
Yeah. Not gonna lie, for Doctors and Dungeon Masters, I have a character that's based off of General Armstrong. Major Armstrong's older sister.
Nope. Armstrong! Boomer scored. If anyone in chat has questions while we're playing, feel free. We're letting Kelly catch up, so she doesn't have to ask questions right now. She just has to drive around. So like, if you like hold the direction and double tap A, you'll like fly in that direction. That's a pretty useful thing. Like you just did. That's a good way to hit the ball because like driving right into the ball is can be difficult. Oh no.
I'm in goal.
Yeah, you're playing the goalie.
Maybe one day.
That can be a goal for us. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Armstrong is carrying us right now.
Yes, he is. Because I sure as shit am not.
Oh, I didn't mean to pause it. Oh, checking privileges. What did I just do?
I don't know.
Alright. Don't check my privileges, just get us back into the game.
You beat me to that joke.
Oh yeah, alright, privileges. I was not making a joke.
I think what my issue is I'm trying to play it like Mario Kart where like the joystick is fairly sensitive.
Okay.
Whereas this, like, you really have to lean into.
Yeah, I think you can adjust the sensitivity, but we won't do that for like...
I mean, to be fair, I'm getting nowhere near anywhere. My brain's like, oh, you should be there right now. The car's like, but I'm over here.
Yeah, one of the earliest things you gotta learn, and this might be a case where it's actually really useful to have you be playing, just because it's hard for me to have a new player experience. I've got a lot of hours in this game. It's like one thing that I forget is like a lot of new players might struggle with. Can't. Okay. It was like for some reason trying to activate cross-platform play for us to play with PS4 people. I was like, what? But anyways, so one of the biggest things is you have to learn to predict where the ball is going to be and go to there rather than going to where the ball is, because obviously the ball is always moving.
I'm trying to head it.
Oh, I took that from you. Let's see how close
we
can watch the replay and see how close you were. You probably would have gotten the goal, I bet. Okay, so there's me. I go and just take it.
And then
didn't see you, but
no, it's all good.
Sorry, you gotta call it.
That's true.
I've typically played this game with friends, and someone will verbally call it. I'm going up, or.
No, I've done similar on actual sports games I've played.
Communication, is obviously really important. Yeah. Which leads into, how do you communicate with people when you're playing Rocket League? It's all yours. I'm not even gonna go for it.
No, I don't even trust me to get it. See, that's another thing. The left and right is mirrored from what I'm trying to do.
Wait, it's like left isn't left?
I have to, 1 second. I'm actually used to Woohoo.
I just beat up somebody who's trying to stop you from scoring. You just scored your first Rocket League goal. How do you feel?
I feel cheated because it said SNES 2, and that's not my tag.
Well, yeah.
I know.
Your SNES 2, that's the way it's gotta be.
Yup.
That was great.
Yup.
That makes me happy. I'm glad you guys did score a goal. But yeah, so yeah, a real basic thing is like trying to predict, okay, where's that ball going to be? Especially like if you see someone going for the ball, you have to think like, where are they going to hit it to and how can I get to there?
Yep.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, it's like depending on what side. So here's what's throwing me off. Depending on whether I'm going towards or away from the camera like that dictates whether or not I am.
It dictates what's left and what's right and stuff like that.
That's what.
And so that can take a little bit. If you press Y, you'll break that and you'll be in what I'm like in right now, which is just in forward camera mode. The problem is a lot of times we want to see the ball.
Yeah. No, it took me a while to figure out what. God.
Armstrong.
Yeah.
Did he take that from you?
Yes, he did.
But he got a goal, so I guess.
No, I can't get bad, but ready you can see.
Yeah. So yeah, that what just happened kind of leads into like one of the things like what's the thing good players do that maybe bad players don't. And a good example of that is like
shots.
Good players, won't have two players go for the same shot because ultimately only one player is going to hit the ball and then it's going to go flying, right? And so if you both go for the same like moment to hit it, then one of you is out of position, right?
Yep.
And so that's like another. Oh, that's a good shot.
God.
Right over Middy's head. And so Armstrong's got this. All right. All you.
Is it though?
It's not me. I'm going back. I'm not going to score another goal. But Armstrong is.
I was ready for it to get kicked back. I was playing the boost/defend.
That's good.
For that one, but he just beefed it. It's okay.
Yeah.
I would have beefed it too.
A lot of Rocket League can be summed up as kind of like a hurry up and wait kind of thing, because you want to collect a lot of boosts so that you can quickly respond to certain things, but you want to be in like a position where you're able to respond. So, for instance, like I said I want to score a goal. Good thing I didn't score there. So, for instance, like the best place to be, generally speaking, is going to be in the center of the field, right? Because you're able to more easily respond to like what's going on. Oh yeah, you got this.
No, I don't, because I was stuck in a am I going forward or backward camera loop. I am trying real hard right now.
Yeah, it takes a while. You're like playing a technical game for the first time.
Yes, I am, and I just knocked it from the there. It's okay. Nice.
We won. All right. All right. So we'll play some online games here.
Solid.
We'll see what happens. So how was playing though? Playing?
It was nice. Like I said, I would have enjoyed it a lot more being able to play with it because you could get a lot of airtime.
Could you press B on your controller?
Yes, and I think that's another reason why I can't. Well, I mean, there's plenty of reasons why I can't play competitive Smash, but I love airtime, and airtime's like one of the worst things you could do in Smash.
I unplugged you just because.
That's fine.
That's interesting. Am I connected to the internet right now?
I am. Are you connected?
Yeah, I am. How else would I be streaming this music? I'm talking to myself, kind of, but
Excuse me.
I don't know why you're still hanging around there. There's some sort of error I'm having. Like I can't connect to any of the Rocket League servers. Let's go ahead and we'll restart the game.
I was to say, did you try turning it off and turning it back on?
Shouldn't take too long.
And I think another, I mean, I do enjoy games that require skill to play, but in general, I really love RPGs. And right now, I'm trying to get the Celestial Weapons in Final Fantasy, and one of those requires doing like a chocobo race, which is one of the few things in that game that doesn't require like strategy in the sense of I need to have certain stats and attack in a certain order. It's like, no, it's physical dexterity and ability. And it's driving me insane because I'm just like, I play this game for the RPG element, not for this silly button pressing or joystick turning.
Not love doing pocket research. I'll have to look up on what that means.
Bless Reddit.
See if our new is the servers. It's weird. So we'll go back to. That's weird. They're saying they just relaunched the game and it worked, but we just did that.
We could try it again.
We could. I'm worried that maybe things changed. Like, because I know that Rocket League was moving to the Epic, thing. Let's see. Yeah, this is from more recently. Well, we might have to switch games.
Oh. I mean, we could also watch professional play. And then
Yeah,
switch
we
games
will.
after.
We will do. We'll definitely watch some competitive or some. What time? It's only 3:33. We're gonna play so much Rocket League.
Yeah, it's still being a bud.
Well, we will play in one more exhibition match. Do you want to play again?
No.
All right, and we'll play here.
I don't like being bad at
Play
things.
1v3. I'll try to take on 3. This will be at least interesting.
Yeah.
If you have any questions in chat, feel free to ask them while we're waiting for Rocket League servers to figure themselves out. 1v3 can be pretty interesting because you suddenly all those responsibilities are on you. It can, to me, it helps me get better at the technical aspects of play. Not so much the teamwork, obviously.
Yeah.
But just hitting the ball.
Nice.
Darn it.
That's silly.
Getting boost is really important because if you don't have boost, you can't do crazy plays. There's a lot of little things that you learn as well. So for instance, if I jump and turn my car, it turns like this. But if I jump and hold L2 or the left bumper, it changes the way my car turns in the air, which then helps you fine tune your rocketing controls, right? Because I can turn it around and A good rule of thumb is that the corner is a very dangerous place, and you learn that really well. That's not gonna go in. But now I wasted all my boost. That's So one of the rules, so when you're in the corner, your options are so much more limited than you are when you're in other parts of the field. So generally speaking, you especially don't want 2 players to go into the corner at the same time, because then if you're playing with 3 people, then you're really playing with a 1v3 all of a sudden. Yes. Not enough.
So close.
Keeping the ball kind of low can be good. It's easier to defend if it's low. But it's alright, yeah. So you want to go high, generally speaking, because it's harder to defend high shots. But it's hey, thank you.
Nice.
When I would play this game by myself against the computer, which I definitely have over 50 hours, especially against the computer, but probably over 100 hours of playing against the computer. I played this game a lot when I lived in China. Because I just didn't have online competitive games that I could play because either I'd be playing with Chinese people and we couldn't communicate, or the game like this one that wouldn't have Chinese servers, so I couldn't do anything. And so, like I would like play the seasons mode, and like the seasons mode is like the most bare bones thing. It's just literally like you play against 8 teams, hoorah! Then there's a championship at the end. So I would like sit in my mind, I'd like make up storylines about my player and the coach and like who are the other players, and like, you know, I'd like do mean mugs when I'd score. So yeah, like there I just backed off. Like I can't do anything, even though it's on their side of the field. Like if they get there first, they get a goal.
No, that makes sense. Ah, so close.
Good defense.
Makes sense.
See, I'm like constantly switching back and forth.
I appreciate that the like actually hitting the jump button makes you go faster, because I think of all those hours spent playing Ocarina of Time doing the forward roll.
Oh yeah.
Like I still don't know if it actually makes you go any faster, but it felt faster.
I know that for speedrunners for this game, the fastest way is actually to hop backwards.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I could have maybe directed that midair. I thought it was going in. Got it.
Nice.
Redirects are a really good way. Like even if you have a shot that's on goal, if it's an easy to defend shot, that wasn't on goal. But like then you redirect it at the last moment. That can be a good way to like win some games of Rocket League. The funny thing is like we're watching this all from my perspective, and I'm staying on the ground most of the time, right? And most of the time when I hit the ball, I'm like jumping off the ground, or I'm not going too much. Yes. Well,
Nice.
that was pretty easy.
Yeah.
I'm not going too far off the ground a lot of the time. But when we watch the pros play, the ball is constantly flying like in the air.
Oh, I think it requires almost more skill to be able to direct yourself and anticipate where things are when you are off the ground and not able to have any sort of traction to get you anywhere.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Like controlling the car in the air is I think what makes this game like a cool esport in a sense, because like that's where like there's so much creativity and so much opportunity to like express yourself, as well as like be mechanically skilled and like accomplish things. Is like I think all the pros can hit the ball off the ground pretty well.
Oh.
I gotta go for it. I have no boost. Shoot, that should be a goal for them.
Yeah. Unless they beef it, which they did.
It looks like the ball, but
Bless the beef.
bless the beef. So those full ones, the circles on the edges, they give you 100 boosts, like the max you can have. I only have to survive for 40 seconds. Oh, I should not. I see, like, where I am now, like, I don't have a lot of options. Like, I can't speed up to the ball, for instance, which is, like, you see how now, like, all of a sudden, like, the game becomes so much more difficult when you're near the ball. So, like, I spend a lot of time driving away from the ball so that I can drive to the ball at a high speed and actually accomplish something. Oh, he's gonna block that. Don't.
Oh.
Well, I guess not.
Why survive when you can thrive?
Yeah.
I usually tell that to my students when they're learning a piece.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Nice
So
big
close.
lead I can do. Oh. See if I can get the save. No, I can't. Okay, so they have 3 seconds to score. Not impossible. I've seen crazier things happen. I've won games where I had 3 seconds to score and go into overtime. But we'll play back in the. No! I want to get the goal out. So you see, like the 1 doesn't actually go down to 0 until the ball touches the ground.
Yeah.
All right, please
fun.
let us play online because that would be nice. All right.
I mean, it's fun to watch.
I totally agree. It's a pretty chill game to watch. Like It's easy to follow what's going on.
Balls.
Yeah, maybe when it finishes checking our privileges, it'll let us play. Come on, I've got my white mail.
Yeah.
White mail, what's it called? A key card right here.
Yep.
You have to let me play. This is interesting. I don't know. I've never had this problem before. Alright, one last thing I want to show. I don't actually want to play this next game. I just want to show how you can communicate to people. Because I think the communication system is actually worth talking about. As you might be able, there's no voice chat in the game. Oh, no, that's not true. You can voice chat. It's just very uncommon to voice chat while you're playing. At least in my experience, like I like when I played, very few players have voice chat with me, and it's generally more of like this is really annoying. I wish they would stop. Like unless I'm playing like with friends over Discord or something. So, but you do communicate with each other. You can do because the D-pad offers can't do it in frickin' single player mode. Gosh darn it. Well, the D-pad would normally give you options. So if I press up on the D-pad, it will give me like some options for instance, like up would be like apologizing or something like that. Down might be like directions, right might be this, and left might be whatever. And so you do is like press up, and then it'll give you like, let's say it's apologies, and then it might give you like sorry, shit, you know, or like, well, it would be like shit, but like the little like, oh, I'm not actually swearing, or like you can't read these swear words.
The comic book swear.
Comic book swear, exactly. Good use of your choice of study in this. And so that can be a really good way to like communicate to your teammates. Like, defending, like for instance, that's like a common one that like that I might do is like I might quick left, like get on the D-pad and click defending as I'm driving back, so that my teammates know what I'm doing, or I've got it right, or something like that. To say like, oh, I'm going for it, and those. That should be a goal for them. Maybe not though. Bump that guy out of the way and then pump that out. Darn, right, popped it right to him. But since I can't do it, we don't need to do that. Let's go ahead and we'll watch some high level play.
Sounds good.
And we'll see. So this is Cloud9 versus Dignitas, and it is the grand finals of the season 6 championships from last year. Or no, yeah, I think the 2018 championship, maybe the 2019. Yeah, these were played at the very start of the year. So now we'll watch them play. And so the camera's going to constantly switch between their different viewpoints. I mean, we can actually, it's cool, they even got like the little cameras on the left and right, which pretty much perfectly sync up with our little thing. That was not planned, but it looks like the cameras on the side.
It's just we're covering the stats for the person that we're spectating.
And so, like you see, like they're already striking the ball at like a much higher zenith. Look at that, like I'm way up there to try to hit the ball, and then like again going really high. You want the ball to be high because you're hoping that you can get it before them. So a big part of when you're playing that like becomes important is you need to like judge where your opponent is and where you are and ask, can I get to the ball first, right? Because if I can beat the opponent to the ball, then I want to go for it. But if I can't, I maybe don't want to go for it at all. Look at all these adoring fans. I don't know what they're going crazy. All right, but Cloud9 just scored. I know we missed it completely. We'll see. I just got a message. I wonder if it's a fan. All right, nope. Somebody's moving. All right. Anyways. So you see that they get higher. They obviously do spend a lot of time on the ground, but you see that like look at Gimmick, look at how high he just went.
Yeah.
And so one of the common assists you'll see at the higher levels of play is like something off the backboard, where the first player will hit it off the backboard, so it'll drop straight down in front of the goal, because that can be difficult to defend if you're in the goal. It's a lot easier to hit that kind of ball when you're like on the side. And so you'll see a lot of players, they will not defend from the like you see like no one's just sitting in the goal right now, definitely, right? But nobody's going to defend the goal by sitting looking straight out into the field of play. You generally are actually going to want to guard the goal at an angle, left or right, because that gives you more ability to change where you are actually within the goal. But that also is kind of difficult because your car drives forward, right? Not backwards, or not left and right. And so it can be pretty interesting. But I think the first thing to note is like we can tell that the gameplay loop is in full effect. We're definitely seeing players constantly rotating. Like that guy goes for the ball, this guy rotates out, and we see that guy right there, who is the player number 3, goes in for the ball. And like so, like you can see like there's a constant carousel, right? Of like whose turn is it to try to hit the ball, and that's that's like good strategy. So see, there we got 2, and one of them chose to go for the ball, the other one backed off. None of them are driving the DeLorean though.
No.
Scrubs.
Maybe they just didn't pay for the.
Try to assist off the backboard, and does the third man get it? No, they get the clear. So clearing is really important, but then it's what can you do off the clear? So here we saw he actually jumped up to go for it, and then he saw the player named Squishy. Oh, that's a real high one.
That's just so satisfying.
The player named Squishy is like, oh, that guy's gonna get there first, so he actually backed off. The thing is, because if you go for it and somebody beats you to it, you're often in a real disadvantageous position.
Yeah. He looks like I'm going to use the bathroom.
Yeah. So I'll keep commentating. If you have any questions, chat, feel free to ask them. Here we see let's see, is there anything else like I want to talk about specifically? Let's talk about just some like of the more esoteric rules in the game. So, one of the nice things is because the ball is so big and the ball bounces around so much, there's not really like any need. It's really difficult for one team to just stall out the game by like holding on to it, because like there's no way to really possess the ball, which is interesting because actually a lot of times when I've watched some competitive, they'll describe something like ball possession, and what they use to describe that is which side of the court is which side of the court. I wonder why I keep calling court instead of field. Maybe that speaks to something about the game. But anyways, which side of the field the ball is spent the most of the time on. So the ball spends most of the time in your half. It's assumed that I must have had possession more, or something along those lines. But anyways, so there's no way to do that. So there's no way to really stall. If the game ends in overtime, or if the game goes to overtime, which obviously means the score is tied, then what happens is, and we're probably about to see that unless somebody scores. Nope. So it's just what would be called in real soccer as golden goal. What golden goal means is that first team to score a goal wins. Period. Oh, that came really fast. So they win. 7 seconds in, they scored, so they won. And that's only game 1, obviously. This is one of the things that you'll note across the gamut of all esports. Like when we have and this happens in real life sports too, but if you look at like soccer, like the World Cup, or if you look at American football, they usually will play just one game to determine who the champion is, right? One 60-minute game of American football, that's all the Super Bowl is. The FIFA World Cup Finals is one 90-minute game of football, of soccer, American football, or not American football. Now, some sports are different than that. For instance, basketball. Basketball, you'll have like a best of 7. That's what the playoffs will be, to determine who the better player is. And so here we see that this is also a best of 7. And I think that that's common across the gamut in esports for a couple reasons. One reason that I think that it happens is because games are just generally shorter in period of time than in like American. Like if you think about it, a game of American football is like usually around 3 hours long. Even though it's technically 60 minutes of game time, you've got halftime in there, you've got the quarter breaks, the clock can stop, so right, it's not just constantly running, which it does in soccer, to be fair. And so there's obviously commercial breaks after every touchdown. There's a commercial break. They got to milk their money's worth, right? And so that's one reason why the Super Bowl is 3 hours, and that one game determines the champion. These games are much shorter, right? A game of Rocket League is 5 minutes long, and then it can go into overtime, which then, as we already previously noted, can be an indefinite period of time, but ends when one team scores a goal. The other thing about esports that I think makes them more conducive for a best of 7 or best of 5, whatever format, is that it's less physically exhausting, right? Imagine like if the Super Bowl was like a best of 3, for instance, like what would you do? Play like once a week, like that? Like, you know what I mean? Because like American football is just such an exhausting game, right? I mean, some sports do that every day. For instance, in MLB, right, in baseball, in the playoffs you just play every single day, but
I mean, and also tournament style, you could play multiple games in one day.
yeah, but that's at like a lower level, right? That's not at the highest level of professional play. Though, you know, that is fair. Like, because that's how some people play, right? Someone can reasonably sit down and play Rocket League for 8 hours straight and not be physically fatigued.
Yeah. Their butt might hurt a little.
Their butt might hurt a little bit. They might be mentally fatigued and mentally very angry. But what questions do you have, Kelly?
I was thinking of like what other esports are modeled after normal sports.
So I would say Madden and FIFA are certainly,
or I mean, modeled as in like not a
in their game design rather than in terms of that's a good question. So Rocket League is obviously like it's like a clear one to me. Chad, if you know any, speak up. But let me think. That's kind of tricky. Okay, obviously, fighting games, especially the traditional fighting games, as opposed to like Super Smash Bros. Has very little correlation with reality. But if you look at like boxing, especially games in boxing which don't go to KOs, but are like determined by like technical decision, which kind of weights each punch as like who got more good punches in and stuff. That's kind of like how a fighting game works. It's just like an indiscriminate amount of punches and stuff, right? And then eventually one player has lost their health or gets KO'd, that also happens in actual boxing, right? So I would say like that's a good example of something that seems to be modeled a little bit after a real sport, but obviously takes, just like this, quite a bit of liberties with what that is.
Right.
Whereas like, you know, we would definitely describe like boxing as a game of fortitude, or a sport of fortitude. It's kind of weird to call boxing a game. Like I can call it like a football game, but then like when you say boxing, I just don't think of it as a game. But anyways, you can really imagine that as like something of fortitude. But obviously, you know, when one player loses a Street Fighter game, obviously it's not really correlative with their actual mental acumen or physical fortitude.
And I was wondering if there was a creative mode almost. Like, I mean, you could do I imagine, just fucking around with the ball with nobody bothering you.
Yeah, there definitely are creative modes and stuff. So, like, there's a lot of options for manipulating the field of play as well as the means of play. So, for instance, you could make your cars even lighter. Or you could, like, I'm just describing, like, the kind of arcadier modes and what you can do. You can do, like, Moonball, where the ball is super bouncy. Or, stuff like that. There's actually just talking about other sports and games modeled after other sports. Within Rocket League, there's, like, a basketball mode. Where, like, instead of a goal, there's, like, a net you have to bounce the ball into. Then now it takes a lot of liberties. It's not, like, a little net. It's like a really big net that's like much bigger and it's very low to the floor, so it's like it's not too difficult to bounce the thing up there. But that would be an example of, even within this game, of trying to model like something else off of a different sport to some degree. But I think a lot of esports are a lot of competitive games spend a lot of their time trying to differentiate themselves from regular sports. And I think the bigger thing to note, and I think that's really important to talk about, is that in a lot of competitive esports and games take their legacy as mods for single-player content or games, or games that really weren't meant to be competitive games initially. So, for instance, the MOBAs like Dota and League are based off of a mod for Warcraft 3, and Warcraft 3 has its own competitive mode, to be fair, and that was very successful as a competitive game. And but it's very different than those games. So Warcraft is an RTS, and then those games you only control like one thing. Like there's a reason why it's got a different name. even though they've got similar control schemes. Similarly, Counter-Strike, which, you know what, we might actually play some Counter-Strike today. I'm gonna go ahead and just download it.
Okay.
Oh, I did a baddie. I alt-tabbed, which then puts me in here. Let's just see if this is working. Nope. Alright.
You tried.
Yeah, I have to like download. I'm gonna install Counter-Strike, which says it says it's gonna take an hour, but I'm pretty sure Counter-Strike is not a big game. So at 1.7, let's just check the download really quick, because I will play some Counter-Strike if we. Ooh, it's 8 gigabytes big. We might not be able to play any today. That's okay. Let's go ahead and get back to this. But Counter-Strike was a mod for, I believe, Half-Life, and then eventually it became its own game. Like the StarCraft games, the rules for them weren't a mod necessarily, but it was a single player game that happened to have like a multiplayer mode, and then people made rules for what the multiplayer mode is and selected maps and stuff, and then that became what the game is. So I think a lot of esports, I think this is the same thing with regular sports. I think human beings just have a natural desire to play competitive games with each other, and they will find ways to do it, and some of those will just stick and people will really like it. Like basketball was once just somebody like, what, I like shooting this ball into a net, you know what I mean? And
that so Thomas once told me how he went to, I think it was Greece, where he wanted to study like gambling and competitive play. And he was saying how like people would bet over whether like an orange would have an even or odd number of slices. And it's just something like so silly to me, but like I get it in the same vein. And I imagine anyone growing up with siblings, like you probably made competitions out of the dumbest shit.
Yeah, so Rocket League is a little different than those in the sense that it's designed from the ground up to be a competitive game, and we see those more now, especially like the Battle Royale genre of games, designed definitely from the ground up, even though Battle Royale itself is a mod. DayZ is a mod for the game Arma, right? And DayZ is like the genesis for, I think, a lot of the Battle Royale games. And so, yeah, so like that's I'm like losing my train of thought. But anyway, so like modifying games and then turning them into something competitive, and then which eventually sticks, so to speak, is like an important part of understanding how these games begin. And I think that that's kind of an interesting like through the fire, like or like forged by fire, or however you want to describe it, way of looking at esports titles is like they like there's obviously lots of mods for these games, and so the ones that rise up to the top and become like true esports are become new genres, like the auto chess games. Like they have to win in order to become esports. It's not just like someone decided one day, right? It's like enough people have to just keep playing these games and enjoying them, in order for them to like be like, okay, yeah, now this is an esport. Now this is something that we play for money, and you know that people spend, you know, that we're going to develop a whole game out of and stuff like that.
Is there any sort of like grassroots gaming that goes into like developing or like promoting esports for like, I don't know, like I just think of like, you know, those video game clubs in high schools and undergrads, kind of being almost a birthplace for something to become an esport. And I'm not quite sure esport history off the top of my head or anything like that, but
so you're looking for games that like, I'm trying to get exactly.
Yeah, no, so am I. Like esports that were kind of born from grassroots gaming, for lack of a better term for it.
I'd say like definitely obviously the mods I'm describing right now, but also like I think a really clear example of a game that mostly survives due to grassroots stuff is Super Smash Bros. Melee, which is the GameCube.
Because you can't even do that online, can you?
No, it's not even online.
Yeah.
It's the GameCube version of Super Smash Bros. And people love that game because it's super fast-paced and technical, and there's a lot of reasons why people really like that one in particular. But Nintendo, you know, the fact of the matter is that's still the most watched Smash Brothers game even in 20, at least from like the tournament standpoint.
Yeah.
I think that from a streaming standpoint, the newest one is like bigger. But like people love to watch Super Smash Bros. Melee tournaments because the highest level play is very exciting and interesting and unique. In a way that the other Smash Brothers games that have come out after it have not been able to replicate or haven't wanted to replicate. Might be a better way, because a lot of, like, I think the creators of the game would say like the way that they play, which is very grassroots style rules, only these couple stages, no items on, no stage hazards on, right? Like there's all these little things that like make it like a grassroots rules from the get-go to like kind of create an element of fairness that isn't technically in the initial development of the game. Yeah. But what's crazy is that Super Smash Bros. Melee gets very little support from its developer, Nintendo, right? They've cashed in. They don't really see a reason to invest in it. So why does this game have such popular staying appeal? Is because there's grassroots tournaments at like local levels and then at national levels that are completely set up just by fans who just want to, play this game, right? Tournaments where the prize pool comes mostly from like the number of entrants and things of like that nature, rather than like a sponsor who's giving out. Well, there are sponsors too, but rather like one big sponsor like Nintendo being like, we want there to be this Smash tournament to market our game, right? And I think that's pretty interesting. Let's see. Anything else I want to say about Rocket League? I have a plan, I think, for moving into a different game. We won't play Counter-Strike, which is fine. We're going to exit the team game spectrum. Let's see. With Rocket League, it's not that there isn't much to say, it's that I was really excited to kind of use the actual playing of the game to inspire. I was only expecting to watch like 10 to 15 minutes of the...
Can we play with the Moonball?
Oh, sure. We can try that out a little bit. Let's see, how well is this? Yeah, this download will now be done when we still will be done with the show. So I'll show you that, even though that's not like super in the purview of the show. So an exhibition match, we can go to mutator settings. Yeah.
What would be cool is like, I don't know, like seeing at the competitive level like trick shots, because every now and again, like you'll see like in basketball, when they've just got a clear American football. Do you want to play in Moonball? No, I just want to watch it. But they'll flaunt, they'll do stuff to for the entertainment of the fans, and I wonder if there's stuff like that here. But it feels like it's too fast paced in order to be able to do trick shots.
I think you'll see streamers do that kind of stuff a lot more.
Yeah.
So one thing you'll note is that like here we've got recharge as the thing, so you see our boost is just coming back naturally, regardless of what we do. The ball is like, you see how long it's staying in the air now? And it feels like I'm a lot slower. Like it feels like that's not real gravity. Yeah. I mean, obviously none of it's real gravity, but
we don't have to play for this too long. I was just curious to see what it looked like.
Well, I'll try to score a goal in Moonball. The ball is also bigger, but it doesn't look as much bigger as I was expecting because it's a large size. You can also turn the ball into a cube. Actually, I want to. Nice. So like here, we'll look at just like we'll make our own custom game mode to show like like how this game is conducive to modding. And but anyways, I have mutator settings. We're gonna play custom. Max score. Don't care. Max ball speed. Super fast.
I love that.
Ball type, cube, puck, basketball, beach ball, anniversary. We'll do beach ball. Ball physics, we're gonna make it heavy. It's super fast and super heavy beach ball. The ball size is gonna be gigantic. Ball bounciness, super high. Boost amount, unlimited boost. Rumble, spikes on what? I don't know. Oh. Alright, so like, we're not gonna do that. That's complicated. Boost strength ×2. Nice. Gravity, default. Demolish, on contact, FF. I don't know what the difference between these two are. We're gonna put
friendly fire. So like you could.
Yeah. Okay. So you can. So when you touch an ally, you blow them up, and then respawn time, Disable goal reset. Whoa!
Do it.
No, so, no, because you could end up with nobody on. Because like when you touch somebody, we're just gonna make it really low.
Okay.
Disable goal reset would mean that until a goal is scored, right, you wouldn't be able to come back, which could be really interesting.
Oh, okay.
But it would be really bad if for some, because like if it's on contact blow
That's
up,
true.
what happens if no one is around? There's the beach volleyball. All right, we have a lot of mutators on.
We do.
This is the new.
Sorry, that was fun. I love it already.
I have little control over that.
I just love watching the big kaboom.
It's so
over
it's
everyone.
you can feel the heaviness of the ball. If you're okay, so the eye contact doesn't mean that you both blow up.
It just means like the faster one.
Yeah, the person who's running into the other one blows up. Get in there. Yes!
Nice.
Let's watch us bounce this gigantic ball. I love that it's like this beach ball, so you think it'd be really light, and it's so heavy. But I don't need to grab that. I have unlimited boost time. I could just go blow up people all day. But I set the blow up timer to only 1 second. So they respond. So you respond like right away when you blow up. Oop, that's bad. Get in there, guys. Oh, Poncho.
I love it.
Since I have unlimited, I can just like kind of stay up here all day long
Mm-hmm.
until I run into a wall.
Almost done it.
This is me trying to do crazy trick shots.
Aw.
So, I'll show you like a trick shot video in like a minute when I grow bored of this. Next time I turn on this game, it'll be on mutator settings and be like, what the fuck is going on? Oh,
It's okay, it's the thought that counts.
that could go in. I just demolished a team. Nice.
And so I didn't realize that demolition was an option, but I just think of how no matter what, there's always a demolition version.
Oh, yeah.
NASCAR, there's demolition derbies at the local level.
NASA, there's demolition space shuttles.
It's a NASCAR.
I know. I was just joking. That's what came to mind. Get out of here, Poncho. Alright.
And even with basketball, there's different games you can play besides your standard basketball match. So it's just nice to see different ways to play a certain sport.
Look at try to get a insanity 35. Best goals, redirect, etc. Okay, let's look at maybe this will have some of what you're looking for in terms of trick shots. Load. Oh, we are down. It's like that would be like a trick shot.
Nice. I love it.
So you see that there's actually a common thing you'll
satisfying.
see is that they often will twist, turn. Oh,
That's beautiful.
so yeah, these players are really, really good. The problem is that dribbling the ball in these fancy ways is not as effective as you might imagine.
Yeah.
And highest level plays in general, because it requires you to kind of hold on to the ball for a while. If someone's holding onto the ball, it's kind of that was a really good redirect.
Yeah. Damn. So what sort of Are these just pretty much like a big fish in a little pond?
It could be. I mean, you know, these are still high skill, right? It takes a lot of skill to do this.
Absolutely.
But rather, it's just like in the highest level of play. If someone looks like they're going to start dribbling, like this guy is, like where he's just holding the ball on top of his car. Oh, these are 1v1s as well. It looks like in 1v1 it's a lot easier to pull this stuff. But like you'll automatically just go to like disrupt them because if you touch the ball once, it's really hard to dribble it when someone else is touching the ball, right? And so that's more what I'm talking about. So a lot of these look like they're in twos. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure that's 2v2 right there. And so that gives you more opportunity to flex your beautiful skills.
Nice. See, that sort of stuff I really appreciate.
And he just redirects it right into the goal.
Yeah.
That's like the lightest of touches, right? Trying to use the ball's momentum to get it into the goal. Alright, so we're going to switch gears, and we're going to stop playing Rocket League, because the Rocket League game hates me.
Fair enough.
Alright. We're going to play a different game. We're really going to switch gears now with 15 minutes remaining and play a Battle Royale game, in a sense.
It's not Fortnite, is it?
No. It's actually an auto chess game named Dota Underlords. So, now just to note, there's a big recent patch to this game like 2 days ago. I haven't played it since the patch. I haven't played in like a week or two, so it's going to be trash, but that's okay. So, we're just going to, could you go into the creator dashboard and just say that we're playing Dota Underlords now?
Yep.
So, completely different game, single player game even. I'm just gonna click play, and we're just gonna go play multiplayer. So, in auto chess games, it's you have like basically you're assembling a crew of talent, and you are trying to set them up kind of like chess pieces, and then they're just gonna automatically battle each other, and you're just trying to create the best team. And every time you lose, you're going to lose some of your health. You see, we all have 100 right now. If you get to 0, you lose. So to start, we're going to... I'll take Drow Ranger, I guess. Drow Ranger used to be really good. I have no clue.
Because I really wanted the Drow Ranger.
And so, at the start of a round, you see I have like a certain limited number of money, and I can use that money to buy little guys. Now, I can't just put all of them onto the board. I have a certain number I can put onto the board. And so here, this isn't an enemy. Like the first 3 or 4 rounds are just NPCs, and that's where you're building up your initial crew. And so your goal is to be the last person standing. And so it's a strategy. I mean, you saw I wasn't doing anything there. So choose my pies. My warriors survive after receiving a killing blow. Take the chainmail. So I can equip that on my guy, and then. Now I have 2 gold, and I can use that to buy. Ooh. So one of the cool things about like most of the auto chess games do this is if you have 3 of the same hero or character, they level up. So like they're 1 star right now. But if I were there's 2 Bat Riders. Actually, I think I want to buy both those Bat Riders. So what I'll do after this round is I'm going to sell my Drow, and then I'm going to buy both the Bat Riders. Oh, good. He is alive. I was like, I didn't see him for a second. I was like, what's going on? Alright. And then, like, different units have, this is a troll and knight. So, like, they would get bonuses for being with other trolls or with other knights. Do I want both those Bat Riders? That's a good question. So, I have a short period of time where I'll have non-knight units take... I sold them both. Oh, I won't. No! I sold them to get the Bat Rider, and the Bat Rider was gone. Alright, well, we'll put you back on. Still have 3. And well, shoot. I could have had a level 2 bounty hunter here. Oh, jeez. Now we're only having 2. Okay, well, this has gone up terribly. Yep. Now we have to try to fight. We should have 3 guys on the field. We'll see if we can. I don't think we can win.
Yep.
Well, losing this round isn't the worst. It's not good.
Do you want to try again?
No. We're playing against real people. So it's good. So because we lost. Oh, normally when you lose. Oh, okay. I lose just a lower quality prize. Alright, well we have a bounty hunter, so we'll take that. And then we kind of want knights, but there are no knights being offered, so we're not going to worry about it. So a really important part of this game is interest. So when I have 10 gold, I'll gain 1 gold back in interest. And then you can do that every 10 up to 50. And so you really want to spend these early turns getting some money, because it helps you in the long term of you'll have more money overall. So we'll see if we can win here. It looks like we're gonna lose this one, which isn't too surprising. Wow, he didn't even lose a guy. Yeah, he has a Witch Doctor, which I think at Warlock. I think if you have 2 Warlocks, you get this bonus. Whenever a Warlock has they form a link with an ally, his lowest health for 3 seconds. When it used to be just your allies have lifesteal, so now it's a lot more complicated. That seems really good. We'll grab the Pudge. We're going to put Pudge into the game. And then we'll move this on to this on the Pudge. So Pudge is kind of like a tank. But we have our first combo here, which is Heartless. And all enemies suffer -5 armor. And then the other thing is we'll want to do is yeah, we could have put 4 on, so we only put 3 on. Wow, we've done this twice. I've never had this problem before. Must be the stream jitters. Hey, at least we killed that guy.
Pudge is wrecking.
Pudge is doing pretty good. Wow, we might actually win. A 2v1, even though he's got more health, is pretty good for us. Wow, we won with only 3. Wow. Just imagine how much better it would have been if we had 4.
Yeah.
Alright, you can look at stats, here, damage, look at Pudge did that much.
You got 2 seconds.
No, 2 seconds until the round resolves, and then we get our money. So now we have 14. We're gonna upgrade our bounty hunter for 1, and I'm not gonna get any of these. Oh, this is tempting. Yeah, we'll do it. Okay. Because he's a warrior, and if we can put. Actually, I want to do this. Wait, no, I don't. I'll keep it. I'm gonna move the chainmail over to Tusk, because Tusk is more of a frontliner. So they have 5 heroes, so that's good for them. You can spend some of your gold to click here and gain more experience and level up. It looks like they're gonna beat us this round. They got Pudge, and he's our big boy.
Yeah.
But that's okay. So the more... Oh, actually, I didn't realize that Bounty Hunter was doing so much work. Yeah, look how much damage Bounty Hunter's done. Should give him Claymore, maybe. Because he's more... level 2 is obviously... It's a lot better than level 1. Alright, now we gain some interest. Ogre Magi, yeah, we played him before.
Yeah.
Abaddon is a knight. Ooh, that's tempting. Yeah, we'll pick Abaddon up. So the reason why we want to pick a knight is because we very early on took this thing that makes our knights better. The question is, do I want to? Oh, he's heartless, so we can actually put him into the game. Yeah. Wait, what? Oh. For some reason, it didn't have the chain. I unequipped the chain shirt on accident. So you can't have 2 of the same guy, but obviously when you get three of the same guy. No. Yeah.
What just happened?
It looks like we got really wrecked.
Yes.
So what are your first questions or impressions upon seeing?
I don't think it's a good game for stream, talking all stream, because it requires quick thinking and not a lot of time to do it.
I think it's the opposite, actually, because you have, look, I'm not doing anything right now. I can just sit and talk to you.
Oh no, that's good, but I'm talking about talking while doing post-round resolve. Like here is a bad time.
Well, I can just look and say, like, I can look and say I'm not gonna buy anything. I'm actually not gonna buy any of these. So now I got. So it's actually, I think it's a good streamer interaction game because there's a lot of downtime, and because technical games, like if I'm playing Overwatch, I have to constantly be like shooting stuff and looking around. Right here, I don't have to do any of that. Right, the game is gonna do itself. Now I can like do things like look at everyone else's lineups.
Oh, see, I feel like I would be better talking while doing Overwatch, because, like, it feels normal for me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But...
Yep, we're losing, but that's okay. Sometimes you gotta lose to get better. You can get losing streak money, too. And then these early rounds, you take damage, health loss equal to the number of stars remaining in the other team's thing. So losing early rounds is not as consequential. Let's see. If I get one more heartless, I could have a 4 heartless buff. Ooh. Let's see. And then let's see. Ooh, I kind of want the 2 knights. Oh, these are both knights. Okay. So I'm gonna buy these 2. I don't think I want the Bat Rider, but Luna we will put in. Alright, now we have 2 knights, and the knights, they take less damage when standing next to each other, so we'll put them next to each other over here. And then non-knight units also take less damage next to them. So I should put them next round, I should put them like in the middle. This guy's only got 4 as 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it looks, this might, we have the numbers advantage. It looks like we still might lose. Okay, let's see. No. It's gonna be. I think we got it.
Yeah.
Nice. There we go. We won a round. We lose our losing streak bonus. Oh. No. All right. So what I think I want to do is I want to do like.
So how many rounds does it go?
It goes until everyone is dead but one person. That's what makes it a battle royale game.
Oh, okay.
So we have the first intermission here.
So how long can these last?
We're not gonna
follow for follow.
We don't really do that here.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're an academic pursuit. You can't just follow for follow. So we would follow for a follow if we could. And we're glad that you could be here to join us on stream. All right, so here we have an intermission. And this is like, I think it's every 10 rounds is an intermission. And so, or maybe, yeah, I think it's every 10. Maybe it's every 5. Shows you that I did not prep this game for today. Wow, I'm surprised that we're gonna lose. This is traditionally not a very difficult round. I bet you they made these a little harder. Because I know that like sandbagging, which is like just taking a losing streak to start, was really popular. And so maybe they're trying to curb that with the latest patch by making these a little more difficult. Choose a lower quality. Give it to him so he attacks faster. Alright, so I want this Luna, but the way interest works is if I have that at the start of the round, I get the interest I get the interest at the end of the round. So if I buy the Luna in just a second, then I'll yeah, so yeah, you understand. And alright, now we can buy the Luna. We want a level 2 Luna. Our opponents have a lot of level 2s. We have not fought very well this game. Wow, we got crushed.
That worked.
That's alright.
Ouch.
Alright, let's see. And so the other thing is I can spend 2 gold to refresh and get a whole new slot. I don't think I've mentioned that, as well as spending gold to get more experience so I can add more guys in the field. Because like the higher level, it goes up to level 10.
Yeah.
And then like the odds of which type of unit change. Alright, so I want Abaddon. Now I have 48. So if I sell these 2, and then I can just buy Abaddon, which is pretty good. I might want to start buying Bat Riders too. So we'll wait, and then we're gonna buy Bat Rider and them. I don't know. I probably still have Juggernaut too. I guess it's not a great idea to just sell stuff. You want to try to fill up everything, because that way you're collecting and getting closer to having level 2 guys. So I'll try to be better. Now that I have 50, yeah, it's okay. We're getting squashed because we're saving up money. Look at like 40, 36, 18,
Right.
25, 41, 21. So we have the most gold of anyone actually in the game right now. And that was because we're kind of bum rushing getting to above 50, so we can get that that sweet interest. Now we'll stay above 50 for as long as we can. Eventually we might have a turn where we just decide to just spend a lot of money, like doing a lot of refreshes or leveling up. Because obviously having the hero advantage can be really important. Alright, so right now we have Knights and we have 2 Heartless. So that's what we have going for us. Alright. There's no Knights, but this is a Heartless guy. He is really high level. Okay, so we'll go with Necrophos, and we're gonna put Necrophos in. We have to take someone out. Take out Tusk. Tusk has like no inbuilt synergies with our team as it stands, because we stopped going for warriors. Necrophos can be good. Like, so one thing to note is Necrophos is a higher tier. You saw we paid 4 gold for him. That means that he's got 2 assassins, so they instantly jumped on like our. So like this can be like there's a lot of like little things that you need to like kind of understand. Okay, that's a lot of damage. We're losing pretty hard, but as noted, we have a lot of money, and so it doesn't matter if we just start winning every round. We won't lose any health because you only lose health when you lose a round. So it's okay to like kind of sandbag a little bit. But let's see. We need to start getting some good rolls up here. So since he's level tier 4 or like cost 4 gold, that means he's just like generally better, and then the tier 1s on the other ones. But we do have, let's see, we need 1 more Heartless and we need 1 more Knight because we have a Knight on our bench. And then we'll get the 2nd level bonuses for these. Okay. We got some. Okay. So we're definitely gonna buy Pudge. And then we could buy Shadow Fiend. Yeah, let's buy Shadow Fiend. And then I'm gonna spend 10 gold. Oh, I didn't need to spend 10. Just so that I could have an extra guy. So now we have 2 Warlocks as well. So the Warlocks we saw were doing some healing mumbo jumbo before. And so we'll see what happens. There we go. This is going a little bit better. I don't know if we're going to win, but alright. I mean, it does look like we're going to win, so that's good.
Yeah.
And so, who is this? So we can look and see, who are we fighting even? Wait, tell us. Oh, BYH. He's got a lot more health than we, so that's good. And now we go up. Oh, Luna. So now our Luna's level 2. Do we take the Bounty Hunter? I don't know. I don't know if Bounty Hunter's in our long-term plans. He's an oddball. We're not going Scrappy and we're not going Assassin. So like we keep him around because he does a lot of damage. Also, I'm gonna move him back. I think Assassins automatically teleport to the enemy furthest away, and so.
Gotcha.
So I kind of like having him up there was probably not very. Oh shoot! I forgot that I didn't realize it was around 15. So this is the Dog Pusher. They are gonna jump and attack our backline right away, which is bad. We might still win because we didn't really have like a crazy good backline.
Yeah, but they did get your Warlock.
They did. We've lost like all these rounds. Like obviously the game is different now, but I just never used to lose these. So I needed to not have this positioning. Like I needed to switch it around. See this, like that's their range, by the way. So like she can like attack that range. He has to be next to somebody. This is based off of Dota, as obviously. Alex, no. I don't know what Bloodbound means, but we're just gonna do it. Okay, cool. Our Abaddon gets up a level, and then we're gonna hold on to we'll re-roll a little bit. Bloodbound other units of its type. Do this, I guess, and then we will put the Claymore on Luna. Move Luna back because she's. And then we're going to. Oh, well, that's okay. So I'm gonna do a couple rerolls. Don't really want to do these. Don't want to do these. Good. Level 3 pudge, so that's good. Then we're gonna hold on to it. You don't want to reroll too much because you're gonna be spending that money like leveling up or something, or buying critters.
Mm-hmm.
Demons are interesting, which we have a demon, which is our Shadow Fiend, but demons, they gain plus 50 pure damage, but only when I have one type of demon on the board.
Mm.
It says that I have more than one right now. I thought No, I only have one. They must have had a demon or something. Alright, let's refresh. Let's go ahead and just do this. Pay 10 gold, and then we can put it's a level 1 Bat Rider. Bat Rider is not very. This is like a idea. This is like a character who should be level 2 right now. Because he's like an early game one. If you recall, early on we tried to buy 2 Bat Riders and it didn't work out.
They're just cannon fodder.
Oh. Well, they have like a bunch of level 2s. We managed to survive a long time, so that's good. It looks like we're gonna lose. Yeah.
Worst things can happen.
Yes. Let's see. Chaos Knight is a knight, but he's also a demon, so it conflicts with our demon strategy. But let's see. Now we get. I'd rather have the big bonus with the than with this.
I was born into war.
We'll keep leveling up for now. Oh, we're pretty low on life.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of randomness because you don't know what you're gonna get here.
Excuse me.
Wow, we got crushed. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll go in. We'll go in here when we get this money. Sell it. Oh wait, we shouldn't. Don't sell when you don't have a full thing. It's okay. I'm not playing by the rules of the game very well. All right, so what we're gonna do is, so we're gonna start spending money. We do have a level. Oh, the pudge isn't even in the game. That was got a level 2 tusk too. So we're gonna put the tusk, him in. Buy a disruptor. He's a warlock.
We're not against rap. We're not against rappers. We are against those
Literally named warlock. Okay. Sure. Hey, this is going okay.
Yeah.
Who is this? Mr. Dorian? Hey, he's a little ahead of us. Okay. Well, we haven't spent our money yet, so we're still getting our interest, so that's good. Okay. Now we'll see what we can get. Oh, next round is round 20, so it will be... So there's no reason to, like... Next round 20 will be bear traps, so... Alright, so I definitely want to buy Venomancer and upgrade you. Buy another Drow, because we can get a level 3 Drow. Then we'll hold off on these ones. We have 3 Heartless out, so if we get one more Heartless out, that's good. We're not quite there. We might be there in experience if we win this round. Will we win this round? I don't know.
Those look big.
We have like lost like all of these rounds, so we'll see what happens. I'm not very confident. Looks pretty good though, for once. Whoa, actually, what?
What?
Oh my goodness.
That's rough.
Okay, they must have made them a lot harder because trust me, when I say before, they were like pushovers. Like you could be sucking and still win those pretty easily. When Druid dies, it heals allies. It could no. This is really these lower quality prizes have been really bumming me out. I guess we'll do the big time contract. Okay. Omni Knight is a knight, but we don't really need another knight. We actually could have a full squad of knights out if we wanted. So what I'm gonna do here is let's go ahead and Bloodbound contract. We're gonna put that on our Abaddon actually, and then we're gonna put the chain shirt on our Venomancer, and then we're going to spend some money, refresh, not what we're looking for, refresh, yes. Wait, Chaos Knight he's down here right now, we don't have any demons out there. Abaddon is a yes, so now we need to get rid of something, we're going to get rid of Bat Rider, keep Abaddon. Did we sell our Witch Doctor? I thought we had a Witch Doctor, is it out there?
Remember.
Oh no, that's Warlock. Sorry. That's okay. We're focused on buying. Oh, we want to buy both those Witch Doctors. So we'll dump the Warlock, Witch Doctor. Move the Witch Doctor on, buy another Witch Doctor. We'll have to sell something eventually. Ideally, what we get is we find right now. Yep, there we go. That makes it so we can actually fit other things onto here. Put that in. We don't have the Warlock thing right now. Let's see. Alright, Bounty Hunter, you're gone. Put the Gloves of Haste on her. Trying to make some really quick decisions. We have this level 2 husk, but we don't...
Wait, but you need 7.
Oh yeah, we'll keep going for now. Okay, we're really moving fast there. We'll see what happens.
Oh.
They have like a bunch of level 3s. This is...
Yeah, it's gonna be a slaughter.
But we're winning. Oh, and then he just summoned 3 little of those wards, and now it looks really bad. And now he's summoning more of those wards. Wow, we almost won. That level 3 Venomancer is like what carried him. Alright, oh well. Let's see what we can do next. Let's see. We did almost win. Wow, that's a lot of tinies.
I mean, no harm in refreshing because you only got 5 health.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I swear. We got our first level 3. Oh no, that's just level 2. Never mind. Oh, hey, it was one of them.
There we go.
I'm just curious. We probably have enough time to play another round after this. Alright, so we upgraded to level 8. I don't know if we should. We probably should just spend all our money and try to live. So buying this would give us 4 XP, so we'd have to spend 8 times 5. We'd have to spend like all our money to get up to level 9. So I guess we wait for a little bit. My double fudge. Oop, I meant to refresh. Nope. 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 Yes, we want this Luna. Bye-bye, Disruptor. Abaddon, yes. Necrophos, goodbye. No. Oh, Chaos Knight, yes. Double Abaddon, double Fudge. No. Bye-bye, no. Alright, there we go. Lich is heartless, so that's good. We lost. By the way, while we were doing all that. Alright, well, Yeah. Well, I'll try again now, and maybe we'll play a little bit better against those early mobs. All right. Got a message from Facebook. Let's see what it says.
Hello.
This is a wild. Sorry, streamers. I'm just. Alright, we'll start with. Oh, shoot, we gotta put something in there. I was putting her down, I guess. I didn't know. I was trying to decide about what I wanted to do. I like druids. Druids like buff each other. It's kind of neat. They're good early game units, not as good in the later game. At least we won.
Yeah.
I mean, that one, like, you can't lose, really. I think any hero can beat those two. Alright. Ooh, this is good. Neutral rounds offer one additional item choice. So, we get more items, which is pretty good. Alright, 2 gold, buy 2 things, buy another enchantress, and they don't buff each other though, because this is like unique units. Let's see how we do.
They got 3.
Well, this is always going to be a 2v3. Luckily, enchantress does a lot of damage. Rides around, little centaur lady. Alright. Let's see. So one thing that's interesting about this game is that it's like an extension of Dota, right? Like it's alright. Let's see. Hunters. Ooh, when a druid dies, it heals allies 2 souls away for 3% health for 6 seconds. Okay, fine. We're gonna go druids. We'll just go druids the whole time. So you see how like the game kind of like slowly like guides you in whatever direction that you need to be. I don't love these options. That's okay. None of them are druids or savage. Savage is the other one we have. But what we can do is we'll try this witch doctor, I guess, and put them in. Probably want this axe maybe. So he's like he's a good tank. Yeah, we'll grab an axe and make him a tank. We don't really have a tank right now. We might lose. Luckily they're healing each other. No. Maybe.
No.
Maybe. Maybe.
No.
Don't you know me?
Wow.
Good job, witch doctor. Okay. Okay. All right. Plus. Tranquil boost. Upgrade density seems like it could be really good. Ooh. We can get the level 3 enchantress, so that's really good.
Nice.
And then we will hold on to our money. We want another druid, especially now, because then both of them will be level 2, because it makes the lowest starred druid upgrade a level at the start of combat. So literally, if we bought any level 1 druid, it would just be a level 2 druid. It would be like buying an instant level 2.
Nice.
So hopefully we can actually find a druid though. Ooh, wait, we haven't unequipped. Oh, I didn't equip the tranquil boots. Well, that's gonna make this harder. He has a level 2 though. This guy's super tanky. He's a level 2. He has 1400 HP. So we're like, this was going to be a really hard one to win. What are you doing? What are you doing up there? Look at how unkillable these I think that the game glitched out. Like, this guy is just hanging out up there. He's taking damage now. I thought he might be immortal down there.
Yeah.
Wow, it looks like we might win. Or... because they just can't... they can't kill her, I guess. Oh no, now he's focusing that one. I guess... oh, no, this one can taunt. That's his, like, thing. So, it forces the enemies to attack. So she's healing herself because, like, she summons wisps that heal all allies. And so, they just can't get through the healing. Oh, what's this? There's a draw. Oh my gosh. There's just nobody could win. Darn it, if we had this tranquil boots on him, we might have won. But that's okay. I guess, do we get gold for a draw? I guess we didn't take damage, though.
Yeah.
Okay. No druids. So, we're actually just not going to spend money here. Oh wait, we have 4 now, so we should spend money just to get... we'll get Tusk because he's savage.
And,
so now...
the boots, if they're not equipped already.
Anyways, I did equip the boots, thank you for reminding me. So... yeah, we're trying to get up into that interest range.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how it goes. We have not had too much luck. We did get the level 2 Enchantress right away, but the fact that we haven't even seen another Druid is kind of wild. Good job. Oh, she's dead. I think. Yeah. She will heal them, and we might get another kill off on this. Nope. But still, 2 stars of damage. It's not the end of the world. Move her over him up one. One thing I see a lot of like streamers and stuff do is they like put everybody like over like on one side, make the enemy like run to them or something. Okay, now we'll actually go over 10, and then we'll be trying to keep it around there. We really want another druid. If we get another druid, we buy him instantly. Resolving rounds. Oh, these guys are still fighting. We know what that feel. Alright, so we gain... alright, no druid. That's annoying. I don't think I'll buy any of these. Wow, it's pretty crazy, the mages. If you have 6 mages, they do some nasty stuff. Alright. See if they got the druid combo going on. That's why this guy's level 2. Man, it would be nice to have like a Nature's Prophet on our team that could be...
Damn.
oof. Not good.
Oh, this is what we call a bad draw.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We can. There's still a lot of rounds. These are just the early rounds.
Still 10 HP.
5.
Oh.
Let's put them back in the middle. I thought we had better success there. Let's see. We got our interest at least. No druids. We do have an axe that we'll grab. We'll grab Pudge, and we're gonna actually drop the Witch Doctor and put in Pudge, because now we have 3 warriors, so all the warriors gain 10 armor. So these guys will be a lot more durable. That might help us out.
Are we gonna refresh for maybe a druid?
No, generally speaking, you don't want to refresh in the early game because it's like a really bad use of money when you have such limited resources to refresh. Like it's I'd rather just lose like a round, you know.
Gotcha.
Okay, well that's 1 down. Oh, but then everyone dies. It's okay. We're not spending all our money. That guy, player 9999, he is spending all of his money. So we're actually the only player gaining interest right now. So we might be in last place, but 85 is still pretty healthy. And everyone else they've put money into their experience, and I haven't, because I'm trying to get up my money. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if we get a druid for once. We're like, I'm going all in on the druids, guys, and hasn't been too useful yet. But we'll get there. So we're gonna go on. Yeah, we'll do druids and warriors. And then savage will just kind of. That's kind of like okay. So we'll definitely buy this tusk. Then we call it a day. Yeah, and I'm not gonna level up because we get 2 extra. We'll get 2 gold now.
Are you putting a tusk up there? Or?
Tusk is up there.
Oh.
That was an extra tusk. So like we're buying the heroes we already have. Good question though. What do I want? Yeah, I just want. I'll take. Yeah, I'll take. So let me see. Are there any savages up there? No. Oof. Let's see. They're really beating up our mean lady. Yeah. We just need that other druid. It would probably help us a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, look, the same. That glitch happens a lot, I
Yeah.
guess.
Oh, that's gnarly.
How much did I lose by? I don't know. Do you count? Alright, so now we'll have at least 5. We'll have 5. But hopefully we get another druid that we could slot in here. Could put in, could go for brawny too. We already have a brawny unit up. That's the nice thing. All units have at least 2, so like you slowly up there. So you have a level 2 tusk. And ooh, we shouldn't have bought it there. That's okay. I'm gonna buy 2 anti-mutants because we got that. It was an opportunity. So we invalidate our opponent's demon alliance bonus with him, so demons don't do anything because he's a demon hunter. Maybe we'll take Venomancer because they're savage and they're a warlock. Yeah, we'll do that. I'm a little so I did a lot of buying there, but I was kind of mad at myself because I went below 30 before the round started. So low. That's okay. Alright. We'll try to kick it into high gear here. And we'll see. Okay, so we do have these 2. They're both warlocks, so that's good. Let's see what we grab. Okay, first intermission. So, Dish Prophet, that's a druid. Alright. And we'll take you out because we don't want that warrior advantage. And then we'll call it. Alright, so now we have a level 2 Nature's Prophet. So that's good. That's good. So, okay. We still have all of our other bonuses that we had. We do have an elusive unit. Which one's our elusive unit out here?
Oh boy.
Oh, Niche Prophet. Okay, cool, because this is an elusive unit, so they'll work together. We'll see how well we do here. We do have a lot of level 2s. More than we had last time we did this fight.
What?
Alright, that's the big one. That's the one that does the most damage, so... Target prioritization. Take out this one first, then take out that one.
Yeah.
So them both being at no health.
Yeah.
Alright, we did it!
Nice.
Okay, that's good. So... that means we actually get to pick, and we get the 4 options again. Okay. 100% mana gain from attacks. Control units give 20%. I don't want that. We'll do the Brooch of the Aggressor. So, gaining mana seems to be good on her because she does the heal for everybody. I've been liking that. None of these seem particularly compelling. Yeah, well, since nothing's compelling, we'll just wait. We could go up to... We don't really have a reason to go up right now because we need 3 elusive units to really gain that advantage. We could buy this Razor. Oh, no, he's Primordial. He's not elusive. Never mind. Oh, this is gonna be let's see what happens. Slow one. Oh, I should actually give him the mana because he summons these guys whenever he gets full mana. So those guys could be useful. Oh wow, our opponent. Wow, this is a real slow Real slugfest here.
Yeah.
That's because this one keeps healing everything, I guess. I can't believe we've never been offered Treant Protector. He's one of the. He's like.
Sorry, there's another glitch.
Oh, was there? Okay. Well, there all our units go. They're all dead.
Yeah. That they are.
Ouch, 62. Last place. But we have a lot. We're at 50. No one else is even close. Alright. So now we're going to kick it into high gear. And by that I mean just try not to die. So we're definitely taking this Veno. If I want to take double Razor, I can get a level 2 Razor pretty fast with that. I could take Drow as well. Sure. We're going to take Drow and then we're going to take double Razor. Though, oh wait, we actually can't take double Razor without losing. Yeah, we're not going to go for Primordials. Hi! Having fun up there? Alright, who's doing Tusker doing damage? Alright. So we want to switch these up. These Tranquil Boots stink. Alright. It's okay. We've reached the point where we have 50, and this is where we want to be. Now we can just re-roll and XP up with impunity. Okay. Okay. So, and do we have a losing streak? No. Alright, Anti-Mage. The next level. Level up. Put in our Anti-Mage. We don't have the elusive bonus yet, though Luna is elusive. Let's go ahead and take a Luna, and we'll put her... I just leveled this up so we could just run that Luna in. So now we might start winning some games. Because we added 2 slots to our army just now. We'll see if it's enough. It might not be enough.
I can't tell what's happening, but I can tell that something is.
I think what's happening is their backline just has done so much damage. Like we can look. Yeah, look at these backliners.
Jesus.
Let's see. This is player 999, and they're in second place. So I guess we just accept that.
Yeah.
They had a better count than us. Can we get some druids? But maybe we might have beaten like all these people, but we got somebody who's way up here. Oh, they just dropped down. Well, that's not good. Alright, well, we take Anti-Mage. And then I'll reroll once. Level 2 Battlemancer. Slot him in. I don't know if I want to drop out Pudge. Drop out Pudge, we lose our warrior. Yeah, fine. A common mistake that's pretty easy to make in this is that, we have 3, yeah, we have 3 pretty common mistake this J-Rob, where are you? He's the player who's right in front of me. Wow, he's gonna beat us up too. We have a lot of these little minions at least.
Maybe we'll almost win.
Maybe we'll almost win indeed.
Maybe we'll even win-win.
We might even win-win. Looks like we did win-win. Okay, cool. This is the guy who's behind, right in front of us, and now is way behind us. So, we beat that guy. Give us druids! We need the druids. Literally base our comp on druids and never get off it. Treant Protector, yes. Oh, he's elusive as well, so we can use him to replace... Do we have a bad elusive in here? No, not really. But, alright, so Tranquil Brutes, we're going to move on to Luna. We're going to move Treant Protector in. And then we're going to Actually, we'll take a breather. I think we can afford to just take our time on the money end of things. Oh, Dog and Pony Show. Darn it. Dog and Pony Show, you're supposed to put your tanks back here.
Yeah.
We don't really have tanks though, so maybe we'll be okay. When a druid dies, it heals everything around it. Oh, but they're dying so fast that it doesn't matter. This is kind of pathetic. Tusk is putting in just.
Like.
It's funny. This was not as buggy when I played it like last. Let's put this.
I love this buggy though.
We'll grab this. So like there's different tiers of items, and we're just like, oh, it's just like I'm just gonna grab the tier 2 item. Wait, this doesn't even work on her. Look at that. Actually, yeah. I want to put these on you and these on you, and then I'm gonna say no to these. Maybe we actually put you back then. I think we might win this one. It seems like.
Oh wow. You're not kidding.
What? Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm like so focused on the field of play, I can't even notice. Any questions or anything? It's okay.
No.
It's kind of just a slow arena day. Well, when we finish this, we'll be done. Who knows? Maybe we'll die soon. It is 5 o'clock. Okay. I have like more gold than almost everybody else. I'm surprised. When I played before, like I feel like everyone went to 50 right away. No, the round is still resolving. I want the Miranda. I do want Miranda. I'm just doing that decision. Okay. Pudge, you're no longer our game plan. Enchantress, though. Yes, please. Let's see if we can get up to 30 gold before the start of the round. Yes, we can. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, yeah. Alright, we're getting close on the elusives. We might be able to get... Alright. Ooh, if we could get another Savage, that'd be... Oh no, that's level 3. This is Russian Name, who's in first place. So our chances of beating Russian Name in first place are very low. Russians are very good at Dota.
Yep. Mr. Undead.
Hey!
Monday.
Sometimes you feel like, oh yeah, you can read Russian?
Yeah.
That just says Monday? Oh, I hate Mondays. I'm just kidding. Fine, Mr. Monday. Oh, that's a lot of damage though. It's okay. You got a level 3 axe. Like it's pretty early for that. It also stinks. We have not been offered these druids. Maybe
I know, that's a pain in the butt.
we committed to this strategy too early, and then it didn't pan out. Oh well.
Yeah.
There's a druid. All right, so we're definitely putting in this lone druid. We just have to figure out where we're gonna slot him. Okay. The druids will now all buff each other, so that's good. I feel like I sold all my axes, and now I regret that. Ooh. Yeah, we'll take Templar Assassin.
Yeah. Or not.
Wow, that was worse than the last one. Who's this?
Wow.
Leslie Bart? It's not even... Whatever, Leslie. That is your real name.
Yeah.
Alright. So, we took out a level 2 last round. That was kind of dumb of us. Okay, so let's try it. We have...
What's this we you're talking about? I'm kidding.
I think we spent all our stuff to get up to level 9, I guess. And then we'll add in 2 elusives by ditching some of our non-elusives. I don't know. Wait, we have 4 savages. Well, it hasn't been helping. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay. Okay, so I want to try to get this Templar assassin in. But I have to drop somebody. Here, just like. Okay.
Oh.
This
That
is
looks
J-Roth
scary.
again.
I like how that 1 star on the bottom right is just swinging at nothing.
What star? Oh, this?
Yeah.
I think he's shooting something. This looks like a boss. They do have really high evasion stats on some of these guys. And what evasion, which is this 45% evasion, that means that enemies only have a 65% chance to hit, period.
Yeah.
Which adds up a lot over a longer period of time.
Like for now, look at that.
Wow. We won. Color me surprised. Okay, cool. Oh wait, we have an item that we haven't been using. Oh yeah,
Bear
this
trap.
bear trap. Alright, well. Alright, well this is another elusive hero. And so we have to put her in. Let me look at my thing. Yeah, we don't have the warrior thing anymore, so we could have her replace Tusk if we wanted. We could have her replace you. She is elusive. She is like, so I think she might be tankier than he is. These guys don't attack very fast, so in theory, if they keep missing all their attacks.
Yeah. What? That yellow one's going ham though. Doesn't attack fast my ass.
Yeah, I guess they attack faster than I expected.
He's just fucking wailing.
We have quite a few guys left.
I mean, we
No,
do,
we
but
don't
not
have enough. Wow. This has been awful.
He just
I guess I haven't
murdered.
played in a long time, and I guess the game got a lot different. Cause like I have like 1 games. I won my last 2 or 3 before playing today. So like I thought I was good at this game.
Pocket sand.
No, we're gonna take Skull Basher, and we're gonna put it on. And we're gonna cry. Okay.
I mean, I would enjoy playing this.
It is. I think it's really fun. These 2 are really good for our team. The problem is that our team is bad. Let's try to do like something like this. Put the druids on the middle. Here's an assassin. Yeah, she has a really big range. Because the druids buff people around them when they die. So, alright, this is Lesney again. Let's see if maybe it was. Maybe,
I don't know.
Look at that one, that stupid morphling just like moved through a party and just. Lesney!
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, jump over here so that they can all die together. Wow, you're living, I'll say that much.
Wow.
We're not dead.
Yep, let's see whether... Oh man, we could have 3 people go out. Oh, no. 2 people. Money down. Dope J off.
No real reason. No, I mean I only have 3, so I wouldn't be able to buy whatever it is.
Unless you sold. There's 5 minutes. 5 seconds left anyway.
We just leveled up a guy.
There we go.
That was a
See?
druid too, so
And
now.
you doubted me. But we are fighting Pawnee Dumplings, so we might as well
Oh.
just consider it lost.
Maybe we just suddenly made our group way better, and we just didn't even realize it.
Yeah, who knows?
I mean, we're lasting a while. It's not like with Lesney,
Yeah.
who just like insta-killed us.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Maybe I have faith in us. And this would be the first
Not
one
with that pirate ship
What?
coming in. Wow, we didn't just
What?
beat Lesney, or we didn't just
Holy
beat Monday. We just
shit.
crushed Monday.
That was
What?
like the first loss that they had since like the
Well,
beginning.
so what's weird is that we beat him, but he fought somebody else very likely.
Okay.
Oh, we can see. I'm 4-11. Well, okay, maybe we. All right, Luna. That's really good. That's okay. We buy that lone druid for sure. All we need to. All right, so we just need one more lone druid, and we're good to go. This Veno. Okay, the question is, do we want this Veno in? We can put him in for her. Yes, we should, because, well, and actually they don't really affect each other. But the brooch. Maybe it was bad. We just won a game and then I took out a member of the team. Hey, this is going okay.
Yeah.
Who's this? Player 999? Alright, he's not as good as Monday, but hey, this is going pretty well.
There we go. Finally got those druids working.
Okay. All it took was just selling our bench. Alright. Let's see. We're level 9. We're pretty far off from being level 10, but that's okay. We'll survive. So if we can get another lone druid, that'd be really good. Because then we'd end up with some level 3 druids. If we could also get some enchantresses, that'd be good. Let's see. Alright. Ooh, Train Protector's good. So definitely take the Train Protector. Do we take the PA? Taking the PA would be like committing to getting her to level 3, which I don't know if that's realistic. I don't know if we have enough time to buy.
And we have to bank on our 5 health.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have to play to win, right? So I took Mirana. I'd rather have Mirana, because I just need one Mirana to get her to... Oh, this isn't good. Is this EPL? Alright, let's see.
What?
Oh, sorry. Oh, wait. There we go. Well, it looks like stacking our units like this has been pretty good. This looks like a loss, though.
Yeah.
Well, we do have a lot of healing. When our druids die, they heal everything, and so that's like really helping.
Yeah.
And we could live with no, this is it. Alright, well, this has been the arena. We've gone a little over time.
Yep.
But thank you for watching. Have a wonderful, this has been kind of a lamer show because we weren't unable to play Rocket League. But that's okay. We beat Monday. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Alright. Well, you guys have a great day.
Next
See you
week.
later, alligator. You leveled up.